This is another scenario of why you need to sign your old parents up for Heart Foundation, or why you yourself need to sign up for Heart Foundation. So there's a situation right now about an elderly 75-year-old mom that has been missing for 36 days, but she was recently just found. Anyway, let me give you a background story. So the background story is mom is 75. She lives on her own. She's had a little bit of diabetes. She can barely walk more than a certain distance, but again, overall, she lives alone. She can cook herself, she can clean herself, she's basically fine. She has nurses that come once every other day to just check on her blood pressure, and then she also has someone who comes in to give her occupational therapy. So mom lives alone, and mom has 3 kids. So what happened was the kids check on mom, or they see mom maybe twice every month, and they call mom every day or every other day. And some people say they call every day, some say they call every other day. So mom has 3 kids. Long story short was the kids called mom on a Tuesday, mom didn't answer. They called back on a Wednesday, mom didn't answer. And then on a Thursday, they called the neighbor and were like, can you please go check over and see, how my mom is doing? Because I'm going to stop by after work. I just want to know how she's doing. So the neighbor went over, knocked on the door. Mom didn't answer. So he called back and he was like, hey, your mom is not home. I knocked on the door. We can't find her. So mom's daughter comes over, does the same thing, and they can't find mom. Was able to get the key and go into the house. Mom was nowhere to be found. So they called the police, declared mom missing. So for the past 36 days, they have been searching all over the place for mom. Eventually, mom was found on the 36th day. She was incoherent. She could barely say stuff. She was very weak. She was very tired. She was basically living, like, literally in the midst of just dump. Basically, that's how mom was living. So they take mom to the hospital. The doctor said, okay, mom is fine. However, she's severely dehydrated. The doctors could tell that she's probably been having some Alzheimer's for a while. Maybe it was just coming on slowly. Mom just severely dehydrated and just needed some help. Mom had a little bit of sores all over her body from basically just living on the streets and homeless. Anyway, long story short, how does this situation happen? This situation can happen to anybody. It could happen to you. It could happen to my mom. It could happen to my uncle, my auntie. It could happen to anybody. And in terms of the kids have to work. They go to work. They are very, very busy. And on having conversations with the kids, they did say they will have, 3 kids. Everyone thought mom was calling everyone every other day. That's what you expect. And with them being able to visit mom twice a month is because 2 of her sons are actually truck drivers, so they're not always around. And the daughter, is always very busy, so she kind of takes time to visit as she can. So the kids are doing the best with what they have. However, they really didn't notice that mom was having issues of Alzheimer's, because mom, when they see her, she seems to be very good. She seems to be okay. Now, some of these diseases creep up over time that you don't even know that you're having the symptoms of these diseases. Other than that as well, there are other diseases that can come up as well. It could be diabetes that you already have that's existing, and somehow the symptoms start to come up. And because your kids don't speak to you quite often, you're not able to let them know, like, this is what's happening to me. And even if you had kids that speak to you quite often, some parents just don't want to bother their kids, so they don't go on to tell them details of how they're already feeling. This is why I founded Heart Foundation. So with Heart Foundation, because we understand the care and the need that comes with our elderly parents, is the reason why we want to be there to check on them twice every week. Because when we check on them, we're asking those important questions. We're not trying to find out about Aunt Mary or Aunt Sarah or family business. That's not what we're into. So we're trying to make sure that our conversations with mom is to make sure that mom is doing well. We're trying to make sure that mom is okay, mom is healthy. We ask questions about if she's sick, if she's tired, is she weak, has she been having certain signs over the period of time. And if we're not able to reach mom, we make sure that we communicate with family members immediately. We don't wait until the next day or the next day. We communicate as soon as we get this information on how mom is doing. Not also that as well. What about if there were things that mom had to do over the past 36 days that she was missing and she didn't get a chance to do? So imagine interest rates that she probably now has on certain bills that were probably never paid, or maybe bills that were already caught up and now she has to probably reinstate them. There's going to be a fee. So most of the time when we say that you need us, we're saying this because there's really a need. You are busy and you need someone to help, not because you don't love your parents, but because your parents need the additional help and the additional support, and we're there to help. So when we say we support your parents, we're not just supporting because of the financial aspect. We're supporting because we know that there's a need, and because we know that you family members care about your loved ones. You just need us to help with that extra push. Also, if you're elderly as well, and you know that this could be you, because it could be any elderly person, reach out to us and let's just help fill in that gap. We're here to support you.